Aulby now.
In one of his last practice balls, he threw it in the gutter. Let's see if that shakes him up.
Whoa. It didn't go in, but it was so close it was frightening.
All right, here's what's happened. We saw that last week in the very low-scoring match at the Showboat Invitational. Once again, we see the oil carrying down the lane. I showed you in the opening of the telecast that the PBA lane maintenance crew had placed oil 41 feet down the lane. The action of the bowling ball has carried it farther down the lane. The players have no consistent break point, and there's not much they can do.
Done.
Just Chris,
and one other point. Mike Aulby, who won the first match, was allowed to practice on the pair to the left of the championship pair, which is oiled identically to the way this pair was an hour ago. He struck on every ball because that pair, the ball still hooks back to the pocket.
So only a 3-pin instead of the baby split for Mike.
We see Aulby, this ball struck every day for 4 straight days out here. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. That ball would swing back to the pocket. Unfortunately for Aulby, if he starts it towards the pocket, it breaks too much and goes wildly to the right.
So he's using 2 bowling balls here today.
Right. Aulby's brought a whole armament of bowling balls. He probably has 8 of them in the building. He could get another one. He's brought 2. He's brought one that he used in warming up, and one that hooks a little bit more he's switched to. Now you see the grip of Aulby. Once again, he's using a little less of a full grip. He puts his fingers in just past the first knuckle, tucks those index finger and the baby pinky, but he's going for the big hook right here.
Well, there's a split that he missed in his previous match, although he won it 176 to 153. Aulby.
Aulby, once again, he started the first game with a plastic or a polymer bowling ball, and now he's switched to what we call the urethane bowling ball, which should hook more, but he's still not getting the desired results. Slides by the head pin, and for the 3rd time today, we've seen the 3-7 split.
Not successful on the conversion. So Salvemini jumps out to a 13-pin lead. Now shooting in the 3rd frame. 27 through the 2nd. Joe is either confused or disgusted. Maybe both.
You're right, Chris.
Maybe both.
You see the 5-step delivery of Salvemini, kind of a 2-piece arm swing. He brings it behind his back, then realigns it. Now it's in perfect position, sends it wide. And he really threw this what he thought was very well, but not playing the break on the lanes, in trouble. The 1-2-7.
Oh, well done.
Great shot by Salvemini. Plays it off the edge, drives the ball into the head pin. The ball takes out the 3. Here it comes, slides by, knocks the 3-pin out. The head pin goes to sideboard, takes out the 7. Salvemini has a 10-pin lead, but once again, the lead can go back and forth when you're confused.
First strike for Salvemini of Oklahoma City. Winner of this game between Joe and Mike Aulby will be Mike Scroggins of Amarillo, Texas, product of West Texas State University. And for Mike Aulby, who had 4 strikes in victory, his first of his 2nd game. Speaking of games, ABC Sports, immediately following us, except on the West Coast, presents 4 of the biggest names in golf. Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, Lee Trevino, and Chichi Rodriguez. Big Mike, every hole in the senior skins game. Chichi Rodriguez, what a guy. In fact, there are 3 legends along with him, and it'll be a lot of fun to watch.
Arnie played well down the Bob Hope Classic, so he should be a contender. Now, Aulby needs a double to even the match.
So Mike has left the 3-5.
Aulby kind of went to school on Salvemini's strike in the third frame. What he did is he moved farther to the left on the approach and threw the ball much harder to take out the break and get it to come up to the pocket. A little more difficult shot than they played all week long, but you have to do what you got to do to win these matches.
Okay, we're in Sacramento, California. Sightseer's delight. Here's some music trivia for you. Can you name this chart buster from 30 years ago? Listen.
Control crest. The dentist choice is the easy choice. Ever hear this stuff?
They're mean, they're lean, and they're hungry for some Texas tea. Bowling's big guns shoot it out at the Quaker State Open next Saturday on ABC's Pro Bowlers Tour.
This is Joe Salvemini, 36-year-old professional. Didn't really get serious about the game till he was 25. He covered the 247 for a spare in the fourth now. He's shooting the 3-pin for another spare. He's going against Mike Aulby. Mike, the 19-time champion, looking for his 20th win today. It's a very close match. Mike, trailing by 9, has a spare up. He's shooting in the 5th frame. His last win, the Greater Hartford Open. And he left a 5-pin. As we mentioned in his first game victory, won his first title, the PBA National, when he was 19 years old. Now, the oldest professional to win a championship was our longtime friend Buzz Fazio of Battle Creek. Buzz's last victory was in the 1965 Sacramento Open. He was 56 years of age. We all hope Buzz is doing well in Battle Creek, and as well as his wife, Bobby. Okay, Bo.
Thank you, Chris. Mike Scroggins, you'll be in the semifinal. And Mike, have you ever bowled on a lane condition where the oil carried so far down and became so difficult?
Not usually on the left. Now on the right it does that a lot, but on the left it never does that because you don't have as many left-handers. So this is going to be an experience.
Well, you have more power than these other two players. You think you can overpower them from the edge?
Hopefully. I was swinging it all week while other players couldn't, so hopefully I'll try it today again.
He may have the solution. We'll know in a minute, Chris.
Aulby shooting in the 6th frame, getting only his 2nd strike of this match, and it brings his only smile and that on Tammy's face. She is the young lady, the artist that designed the PBA triple logo. Now Salvemini. His wife Kim is here. And Joe gets his 2nd strike with his spare up. There's Kim. Okay, Joe Salvemini was a late bloomer, picking up the sport after age 20. We asked to what he attributed his success.
I think I became successful because I was athletic, even though it took me a while to get into bowling. Once I picked it up, I seemed to pick it up pretty quickly. Instinct carried me over, and I just worked real hard at it. I'd also like to make a mention of some family members, friends of mine in Reno. A friend of mine passed away a month ago, and he was real close to me, and my thoughts go out to his family and everybody there. And Bud, this one's for you.
Well done, Joe. And Joe leaving himself another single pin spare to work on. Bo having that strike up.
He has the 3-pin, a simple spare, and the two big improvements. He said he's working on his game, and he is an instinct player. Our number one is spare game, which he has a simple spare here, and speed control. I think he's made the proper move for a match game style. He's playing a soft, big hook all week long. He's moved farther to the left. He's throwing the ball much harder, taking some of the breakout. I think that may be the way for Salvemini to conquer this pair.
Okay. Close match, our 2nd, Salvemini and Aulby. We'll have more of it when we return to Sacramento, California.
The performance is presented by Diet Coke and NutriGreens next Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Mike Aulby of Indianapolis shooting the 7-pin on the left lane, 8th frame. Put a strike in the 7th to double, make a mild comeback. And now with the spare in the 8th, Salvemini, at whom we're looking, leads by 1 pin, spare up shooting in the 8th frame, our second match of the afternoon in Northern California. A 5-9.
Salvemini gets a good break there as the head pin wrapped around and tapped out the 10 pin and moved it, which fell forward and knocked out the other difficult pins. So right now he would trail by 1 if he converts. Chris, Aulby has made a move towards the center of the lane. He's playing the 3rd arrow. He's moved about 10 boards with his feet and is trying a different shot and has made it a close match.
Ooh, just does mark. We're in Sacramento, often called a halfway city because it's a mere 90 miles from San Francisco to the west, and to the east about 90 miles, the foothills of the awesome Sierra Nevada mountains. A lot to do in a short travel here.
You bet you, one of the really nice towns in the western part of the country. Salvemini cocking that hand underneath the ball, fingertip grip, 9th frame, trails by 1. The match is up for grabs. Big shot. Just can't seem to figure it out, Chris. Left the 3-10 baby split. Much easier for a lefty. All he has to do is get the ball to the right of the 3-pin. In this area, let the ball carry into the 10. Now, being a left-hander, the ball breaking that way, it's much easier. If he converts his spare, he will trail by 3 through 9.
Errors continue.
Well, 14-pin lead, and now here Aulby. Now let's watch what Aulby's done. We saw him trying to play that critical outside line, and it became very critical today. Now he's moved into the 3rd arrow, about 10 inches from the left-hand gutter.
What an accent put on that shot. Woo.
Well, he's found the combination. He's had every ball in the pocket. While we were away, he struck in the 6th and 7th frames. He left the half 7-pin around the pocket in the 8th, and he struck here in the 9th, and he can close the door on Salvemini with another strike.
The wives, Kim Salvemini on the left and Tammy Aulby on the right. Very, very pleasant, lovely ladies.
Aulby needs a spare and 7 to lock up the match.
Not to be.
Well, he's left himself a spare that he can miss. He's made this once today, and Aulby made a smart move. He threw a hard, straight ball down the right side of the lane, converted the 3-5-6. He needs this spare and 7 pins to lock out Salvemini. Here's the way to do it. Ball coming right through. That and a good count would be a winner. He'd be in the semifinal. Let's see what happens.
As you said.
Nobody's throwing any balls on the right side of the lane. Now, what this sets up for Salvemini is Joe Salvemini needs 2 strikes and 3 pins to win the match. He's looking to the side. Salvemini only has 2 strikes so far in the match, 1 being on the right-hand lane. Let's see what he does. I think the only thing I could do, Chris, if I was in this position, is move to the extreme left and just throw a hard shot at the 1-2 pocket. You can't gamble on it breaking. He's been light every time he tried it.
There's one, the man that had his last win in 1989 in Austin. His first 2 titles were in 1983 in Florissant and Syracuse.
Well, when he won his first title in Florissant, he was extremely tough in the clutch. He went right to the wall and performed in the clutch, and once again he has to do that right here. He absolutely must strike on this ball to win.
Not to be, leaving the 4-7. Okay, Mike Aulby now Very, very close matches. This by 2 pins, 183 to 181. Aulby now goes against a